It's not going to be another one of those videos that just tell you to rest and practice self-care, because I know that you've already been there and done that, and chances are you still haven't been able to overcome whatever struggles that you have. So this is not that. Second thing this is not going to be is another find your why video. Already know that your kids need you, that you have to pay your bills, that you want to travel more and work less, live into your purpose, or just buy groceries without having to contemplate the impact, the financial impact that's going to have for you for the rest of the month. And yet you're still struggling to find momentum. That's what we're not here to talk about today. Instead, I want to offer you 5 things and maybe a bonus tip that you can do right now and take action on so that you can start to master your momentum, overcome all of the reasons that you're struggling, and just get to the end and the other side of whatever this struggle is. Because what I know for sure is that what you really want is to get out of this phase and this stage, and I'm here to help you do that. And everything that I teach here is a glimpse of what's inside the Profitable Productivity Plan. If you're interested in learning more about that, make sure you click the link below. I assure you, you will not regret learning how to master your momentum. Let's get to today's video. The first thing that is going to help you to overcome whatever you're struggling with and get in a state of momentum is to occupy a belief that you can do anything for a short period of time. This is something I have used and tapped into so many times for so many examples. I'll give you a professional example. Years ago when I got out of the Air Force, I took a role in a sales role, and it was underpaid, and I knew I needed more experience. So I took a role with a third-party logistics company as an account manager. It was like a dog-eat-dog sales world. It was hard. It was a struggle. It was by far the most stressful period of my life, and I was pregnant with my first child at that time. And what ultimately I committed myself to is said, Nisha, all the skills that you're gonna learn in this experience, it sucks, right? Like, I literally work 12, 14 hours a day. I'm stressing, I'm freaking out, having panic attacks in the bathroom. But everything I'm learning today is going to help me in the future for the next opportunity. So if you can commit to a year, you can do this. You can do anything for a short period of time. I also remember when I had baby number 2, my epidural wore off, and I felt all of it, right? And I remember the nurses like getting in my face screaming, telling me if I don't push, they're gonna have to C-section this baby. And I'm like, absolutely not, we're not doing that. I think it was baby 3 actually, I can't remember which one it was. But what I decided ultimately was like, Nisha, if you can just commit and count for 60 seconds, just commit and count for 60 seconds, you can do anything for a short period of time. I use this mantra so often in every aspect of my life when I have hard days, especially when I can't yet get out of whatever that circumstance is. So the first thing you want to do is to stand in a belief that you can do anything, and I do mean anything, for a short period of time. I have my notes here because this is largely going to be an unedited video, and I just want to make sure I don't lose sight of what I want to share with you today. Second thing is to seek the benefits, the gains, the incentives daily, not just the big picture. Every single day, go out of your way to find the thing that you're gaining by staying where you are today. I know for me, when I'm in a season of struggle and I'm ready for a pivot or a switch, but I can't yet do it, my mom math kicks in, and that mom math says, Nisha, if you do X, then you get Y, and then you'll be able to move out of this. Largely is associated with a cost of something like that maybe is out of budget or out of reach for that moment, but I'm like, well, if you do X, then you're gonna gain Y, and then you're gonna be able to do whatever it is what you wanna do next, right? Or for your kids, or for your husband, or whatever the case may be. So mom math for me stepped into that seeking out the incentives on a daily basis. Number 3, simplify, simplify, simplify. Look at the reason why you are overwhelmed and struggling with momentum at this season. If you said yes to wherever you are right now, chances are once upon a time you wanted to do it. But I don't know what it is about our nature as adults that we just have to overcomplicate things, right? We have to make things harder for ourselves than they need to be. Children just have this gift of simplicity. And one of the greatest things that having children has afforded me as I think about goal setting or strategies or approach is simplicity. I try to dilute and then dilute and then dilute some more everything I need to do. When I find that there's a friction point, I'm like, ooh, there it is. There's a hurdle, there's a friction point. What do I need to do to simplify that? How am I overthinking that? How am I making things harder for myself than they need to be? Are you having too many conversations that are synchronous, right? Are you having too many meetings? Are you involving too many steps? Having too manual of a process and you need to have some automation or delegation? Are you overcomplicating things because it's not even really what you want, and you haven't challenged yourself to ask this question, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But ultimately, simplicity, as simple as possible, is going to be the next best thing that you can do to figure out how to gain momentum. How can I make this thing that I'm struggling to do right now? This is the question I ask myself. How can I make this thing that I'm struggling to do right now simpler? If I had to take action right now, no resources, no nothing, as I am right now, what would that process be? And if you can find a solution there, then that needs to be your day-to-day way of doing whatever that is. Not the calm, peaceful brain that wants to add more work to your plate because it thinks it feels good. I'm talking about the one that's like, okay, girl, this is too much, but we got to do it. So how can we make it simple? That's the answer you need to consider and think about how can you implement moving forward. Number 4 is about executing on one goal, one thing. I teach a really simple framework called One Goal, One Thing. I'm an overthinker, and I know that standard goal setting training and people telling you about goals tell you to focus on your top 3 priorities, and that's how you focus on moving on momentum. But I have kids, I have 4 of them, and I have a business, and you have all these other things. A lot of times we just complicate what we're doing because we have too many priorities. Choose one goal and choose one thing you can do toward that goal every single day, and that's how we commit to momentum. This situation for me, I have learned that the key to making this clear, when I talk about the simplicity, that I talk about the one goal and one thing, like where to focus my time and my attention, the key to that is being really clear on what I want, my objectives, my values, what it is that I want to accomplish for the week or the month. And as long as those things, those parameters are set, it's really clear for me to simplify and to figure out what my number 1 priority and goal should be for that day. Number 5, question your yeses. I have to tell you, in this season of life of having 4 kids, I give myself a lot of permission, something I would have never done in the past, a lot of permission to question the yes that yesterday or Nisha from yesterday or Nisha from a year ago committed to. A lot of permission. You know, when you're taught all the time to not go back on your word, to commit to what you've done, and that works until it doesn't. When you start adding more to your plate, more momentum, more commitments, more priorities, you feel the pressure of having to perform versus actually commit to them and give them your best, you know? And I'm not here for performative results. Like, I really want to help, to serve, to feel alive and aligned. I don't want to do it just because I told you I would, and now I'm just going through the act, right? And it means nothing. So I give myself a lot of permission to say, why did that Nisha put this on? And does this Nisha, is she okay with this yes? Right? If I make anything I say yes to earn the right to be on my calendar or my task or to-do list for that day. So I question all of my yeses. Here's a bonus I want to give you, number 6. And that bonus is you really have to ask yourself if whatever I'm doing right now, if it actually aligns with your vision, or if it's going to get you clarity on that vision or get you closer to that vision. And if the answer is yes, my friend, if the answer is yes, then here's your no fluff advice that I'm about to give you. Shut up and do it. Just get it done. Going back to number 1, you can commit to doing hard things for 1 minute, 1 day, 1 hour. If the answer is that this one hard thing, this thing I'm struggling with is gonna give me clarity on my vision, it's gonna get me closer to my vision, the life vision. If it's gonna give you that, not the goal that's like, sometimes it excites me, sometimes it doesn't. I'm talking about that real life vision you have for yourself, right? If the answer is yes, then shut up and just do it, get it done. And I know, with love I say this, a lot of people aren't willing to talk like this anymore because it's like the anti-hustle, anti-grind. I'm not that. Even God himself took 6 days of hard work and rested on the 7th. That meant most of his time was spent working, right? When he built the world. I think about that all the time when I think of the context of balance and rest and work. I live in that lens and filter it through this lens all the time. Yes, there's always a time and season to rest, right? And to question whether or not you're pushing yourself. But sometimes you just need to figure out how to shut up, put your head down, focus, do the hard work, and get to the other side of it so you can truly get yourself out of this phase of life. So today I gave you 5 things that I hope help you in my no nonsense, no fluff kind of way, in this raw, edited, unedited, largely video. 5 things I hope to help you to overcome your struggle if you're struggling with as a solopreneur and a parent. And I really hope that it helps you today. And if it has, if you gained anything from it, leave a comment below. Tell me below which one of those 5 plus a bonus really helped you. I'll tell you first and foremost, the bonus for me, number 6 for me, was the driver of results for me, because it lends itself to personal accountability, a posture of personal accountability that I started to assume. And when I assumed that posture, I started to see results. And I know if you assume that posture of personal accountability, you're going to start to see results. And I'm not just talking about making more money, getting more clients. I'm talking about your life from the inside out really starting to align and light up and give you joy, make you wake up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning with delight and excitement, even if you have a hard day ahead of you, because you know you're in alignment with the life vision that you created for yourself and you're working toward it, even if you're not there yet. Make sure to watch the next video. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. I'll see you soon.